What is up, guys? Nintenjoel here once again, being all casual with my beer and my metal and pickups again. Already got more pickups for you guys. That's crazy. I already have so many pickups. It's nuts. When I first moved to this town, I wasn't getting crap. I wasn't doing trades. I was broke. I didn't have money to ship things out. Wasn't even searching on Craigslist or yard sales or anything. And lately I've been finding stuff on Craigslist. And I do lots and lots of trades, and I do eBay purchases that are generally like cheaper, like imports and stuff like that. So, got a variety of stuff for you guys. Starting out with some stuff that's maybe not super exciting, but stuff that I needed, and that's like some manuals and cases I needed. I got these from a dude on the Parts and Pieces group on Facebook. If you guys aren't a part of the Parts and Pieces Facebook group, it's pretty awesome. You can find cases and manuals and disc onlys there and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. So anyways, this guy Steve and me had done a previous transaction, I think, or something. Maybe, I don't remember. Or maybe this is all of it together. I can't really remember. He ended up sending 2 packages. I think this is actually all of it, but it was in 2 separate packages because at first he could not find this even though he knew he had it. And it was Rune Factory, the first one, manual for it, needed that. Hell yeah. So he sent that separately. With something else I want to say. And then he had thrown these ones in. Fire Emblem Awakening, not really a manual, it's like more like a fold out, like, kind of manual, but anyways, that's pretty cool. That's just extra. I have the one in mind. This is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y manual for 3DS. And then this is really cool. I actually did show this on my last pickup video, or actually it was the Cowlitz pickup video, and that is the case and manual for Pokemon White. And then Mosley gave me the cartridge for it on that pickup episode, so I figured I'd show it again, since I did actually get this case from that guy. But the main thing I was after, and which was funny because he threw in the case of manual, so now I have an extra, was Tales of the Abyss, and it is nice and complete. So first he was just going to give me the card only, but he decided to just give me the case manual also. I traded him a box and manual for Summon Night 2, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And, yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so, thank you, Steve. And the next thing I have for you guys, actually Craigslist pickup. I haven't done those very often recently, and pretty stoked to get this. It's pretty neat. This is actually up for trade. Got a silver DS, the original fat one. And it did come with a charger. I brought out the wrong charger. Sorry about that. Meant to bring out the black charger. But yeah, wrong charger. But anyways, it did come with the right charger. And came with 1 game, and altogether it was $20, and that is Pokemon Pearl. But this did not have manual. But still, for $20, getting a DS with good screens and Pokemon Pearl, pretty good deal. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I'm going after Pokemon games again. Okay, so, and always I'm after RPGs for damn sure. And this is one I was really after because for Christmas, Jessica got me Devil Survivor Overclocked, and then I got the case for that, and then I was really on the hunt for Devil Survivor 2. I went to GameStop here in town, which is literally our only game store around here, and I saw this sitting on the shelf, but it didn't have, like, the box and stuff, so I asked the chick, and I was like, do you have the, like, rest of this stuff? And, like it says it's new, but it's obviously not, and she's like, oh, that's because this is the last copy, and this is the display copy. And she pulled out the box and manual, gave me a couple bucks off, so this was $18 for the special edition. What's nice is, even though the box is a little beat up, got a tear right there, it does have the soundtrack, and it's unopened, which is rad. So that was pretty cool. Okay, and then we got some online purchases. Did a bunch of online purchases. First of all, let's show off Mr. Super Famicom game here, Mystic Arc. If you've ever seen SNES Drunks videos where he talks about Japanese RPGs that never made it over here but do have English translations, this is one of them. And you would think by looking at this game that it is a 7th Saga like sequel. It is not. It's made by the same people and stuff, and it's very similar, especially as far as like art style and background, like battle and stuff like that. It really looks like 7th Saga. But when you're in town, it looks more like a Final Fantasy game. So anyways, Mystic Arc, pretty cool game. It does have a full English translation available on romhacking.net. I have tried this one. It does work perfectly fine. If you like 7th Saga, I'd get Mystic Arc. I mean, I got this one complete in box because it was not much more than a loose copy. Like the loose copy was like 10 or 12 bucks or something like that, and this was like 20, so screw it. Okay, so I've never been on AliExpress or I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the name of the site down below. Never been there before. I think it's like AliExpress or something like that. It's a bunch of people that do like, I don't know, just all kinds of weird like bootleg stuff. Well, I got one bootleg thing, and what's really funny is it even came in a bootleg like Game Boy case. Like this is not an original. Looks like one, but it's not. And yeah, it's just funky as hell. But this was like 6 something shipped. It took me forever to get it. Like I mean like a month, because it came from China. My cat's being a weirdo over here. But it came from China, and the top of it doesn't even say Nintendo Game Boy. It says Game. And there's a red cart, and it is Magical Chase. If you don't know what Magical Chase is, this is like the most expensive TurboGrafx game ever made, $1,500. But I think there was like a version on Game Boy Color. We just didn't like ever get it or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't really do much research into this. But it was a cool pickup for $6. I mean, it took me like a month to get. I was convinced I got ripped off because I've never ordered with them before. But yeah, Magical Chase, pretty cool. Played it. It's awesome. Pretty sweet. Okay, and then let's see. eBay purchase. Cheapo, but amazing one. This is a really, really good one. Capcom Classics Mini Mix, and this has, let's see, Bionic Commando, Strider, NES version of Strider, and the one that's definitely worth picking this up for, it's got a copy of Mighty Final Fight on it as well. So 3 games in one, and Mighty Final Fight is a very expensive game. This is literally the only way I've actually ever played that game before. I know my buddy Kevin has that card, and he loves it, and I showed him this, and he was like, that's rad! So if you want to play Mighty Final Fight, don't want to shell out all the money for the NES copy, at least get the Capcom's Classics Mini Mix, and if you happen to not have Bionic Commando or Strider, that's just a bonus for you, because the NES version of Strider is actually really freaking cool. It's not like the same as the Genesis or arcade, but it's still cool in its own right. It's got rad music, and we all know and love Bionic Commando. Oh, and what's funny about this is I just traded my Bionic Commando, so I'm after another copy, but I traded it because I knew I had this on... Yeah, I knew I had this, and I have a way to play it. No big deal. Alright, another purchase. Online purchase. This was eBay as well, I believe. And super shiny. Got Star Wars on Famicom. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this. This is a Star Wars game that we never got. This is an exclusive to Japan, and it's an 8-bit, obviously, Famicom game. They talked about this on Metal Jesus Rocks one time. I knew about it before then, but he really solidified it for me that I needed this game. And what's really funny about it is it does show Luke on the front, and he's got blonde hair, but when you play in the game, he's got black hair. I don't know why there's a black-haired Luke Skywalker. Maybe he was going through an emo goth phase or something like that. My cat's being absolutely crazy right now. Okay, so... yeah, so that's pretty badass. And also, Darth Vader turns into a giant scorpion, so that's pretty freaking weird. Okay, this next thing I got for you, I'll probably try to take a picture of the label close-up so you can see it a little better, but we've got a 4-in-1... I guess this is a bootleg, 4-in-1 bootleg, 4 games on Super Nintendo or Super Famicom, put onto one cart. I had a really hard time explaining that. The actual shell is a repro. You can totally tell it does not feel the same. And it's really weird, like you can't get to the screws, they're like filled with plastic. It doesn't matter. I got this for, I want to say this is 25 bucks shipped. It came from a dude named Tim, or Timothy, on Southern Order Retro Gamers. I'm not sure if he goes by Tim or Timothy, like, you know, in real life, but yeah, 25 bucks shipped. He shipped it super quick, so he's a cool guy to deal with. And actually, next pickup video, I have another deal that I did with him too, so hell yeah, that guy kicks ass. But this comes with Parodius, which is rad, Rendering Ranger, which is really rad, R-Type 3, which is like the Final Lightning, I think is what it's called, on Super Nintendo, and for some weird reason, Axelay, which is actually getting pretty uncommon, but yeah, for either very uncommon or rare games or imports like Parodius on one cart, so that is rad. Okay, so what's weird is you have to hold the reset button for like 3 seconds to switch between games. So I was like, great, this isn't going to work on the Retron. Tim even said, this isn't going to work on Retron. It does work on a Retron. You plug it in, and it recognizes the game that it's on, but you can't switch it anyway. But what I discovered is that I could take this out to the living room, switch it with my Super Nintendo, put it in my Retron, and it's actually on the next game. So I can play this on my Retron, I just have to switch it somewhere else. So I can get HD footage of this, so I might do a review on one of these games like Parodius or something. You never know. It's just kind of cool that I can actually play it in HD, so that's pretty rad. Just need to kind of go through the pain in the ass of switching it, but it's not that big of a pain in the ass. Literally takes less than a minute. Okay, so let's see. eBay purchase. Definitely worth your money for this one, man. If I remember, this was less than $10. This is... I'll put the Japanese title in a little box below. But it's Super Shell Monster Story on Super Famicom. And man, if you like Dragon Warrior clones, this is the game for you. If you like Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest games, oh yeah, 16-bit Dragon Warrior goodness. It's just so fun, so colorful and bright, and it's a wacky story. It's not serious. Unlike the next game I'm going to show you, it's like the polar opposite of the next game I'm going to show you. Super lighthearted, and yeah, Super Shell Monster Story, really good. If you're looking for more simple RPG experiences with great graphics that are super colorful and nice music, then there you go. And it's got a full translation, of course. I generally try to buy RPGs only if they have full translations available. So, like I said, complete polar opposite. This is a very, very dark game for Super Famicom, and obvious why we did not get this one here. Shin Megami Tensei 2. This is a first-person dungeon crawler game like Eye of the Beholder or any number of old first-person dungeon crawling RPGs. Except for this is way darker, and it takes place in like modern times. It includes a lot of dark religious and like anti-religious elements in it, which is why I suspect we did not get this game. Not even suspect, I know that's why we didn't get this game. Also, first-person dungeon crawling RPGs were a lot more common and a lot more well-received in Japan, as opposed to the States, where we tend to like things like Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, and stuff like that. So, Shin Megami Tensei 2, though, again, full translation available. This one does work very well. I've already tried it, and it is nice and dark, and just a cool game, so now I need to get the first one. Okay, and last Famicom game I have for you actually came from a trade, and that was with my buddy Phobia, and I think he just kicked this down to me. Like, I asked him about it, and he was just like he ignored it. So, first he told me that he paid like 11 or 12 bucks for it. He showed me a picture of it when it was in the shop, and I was like, oh, Mystical Ninja on Famicom. That's like really cool. Even though I already have the game, that's really cool. And he just sent it to me with this next game, which was a trade. And I asked him about it. I was like, what do I owe you for it? And he ignored it. So I assume this is just a kickdown, or, I'll probably kick him down something in the future anyways. But the main thing that I traded for was... Oh, and he got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes on NES. Really nice label. His mailman's a jerk. I got that package back. This is the correct address and everything. For some reason, his mailman just cannot get his shit together and always has his packages messed up. But anyways, I ended up giving him the game in person at Cowlitz, but what he sent me came through just fine, and that was Demi Kid's Light version on Game Boy Advance, which is badass. Always after RPGs on Atlas. This is a game that I know a lot of people are just like, meh, it's alright, but man, graphically it sure is cool. I really like it. I don't know, there's a few things I really liked about this, so don't listen to the crowds, I guess. Use your own judgment. Some people might like something that you won't, and Demi Kids turned out to be something that I actually really like, so I kind of want to get the dark version as well, because it seems like the two paths are kind of branching, so might have to get both versions. But anyways, we are down to the last pickups. I got, and I forgot to grab it, damn it, console. This is a Craigslist find. It was $40, and it came with a Game Boy Advance SP, a silver one, in very nice shape. Just didn't grab it. But inside that was a Pokemon Ruby. This has, let's see, clock-based events don't work, but the actual save battery does work, so that's very common with these Game Boy Advance Pokemon games. But cool to get Pokemon Ruby. For some reason I thought this was Sapphire. Now I need to go back on Craigslist. I think somebody had a Sapphire version that I might try to get. But the main reason I got this, and definitely the coolest thing I got this time, I actually used to have this complete in box a long time ago, and I sold it for a decent amount. And I never expected to find it again, especially not in this shape, especially not for 40 bucks with another Pokemon game and a Game Boy Advance with it. But that is a Pokemon Fire Red version, and it is complete in box, except for it does not have this Game Boy Advance adapter, the wireless adapter. But my buddy Jesse said that he had one for me, so thank you, Jesse, for that ahead of time. He said next time we see each other, he'd give it to me, because he has a couple, I guess. Which is a real bro hookup deal. That's how much the Jesse rules, because he was actually jealous of this pickup, but he's still cool enough to freaking give that to me. So kudos to you, Jesse. You're freaking awesome. But it is complete in box. It is in super, super nice shape. It saves everything is nice. Even the clock-based save works. And it's not a fake. When I first saw it, I was just like, is this a really well-done repro? Or like what? Like this is in insane shape. So there's the actual cart. Oop. And landed on my shoe. That was amazing. There's the actual cart in like pretty damn pristine condition. Nice and holographic. And yeah, it's got the manual. It's even got all the inserts and all that stuff and advertisements. So that's a pretty damn sweet deal. Especially right after I'm starting to collect Pokemon games again. I used to have this, and I used to have a Pokemon Complete in Box Emerald in really good shape a long time ago, but honestly, this one is better than the one I used to have, so that is a sweet topper on this pickup video. I'm really stoked about this. Yeah, I'm actually going to play this. I like the Game Boy Advance ones and the DS ones a little bit more than the older ones, it seems like. Maybe just because I didn't grow up with the older ones, but I like them graphically and musically. It just seems like they're pretty cool games, so I'm actually very stoked on that. All kinds of imports, all kinds of cool handheld games, and boxes and manuals that I needed. So freaking rad. So thank you very much, everybody that has contributed to this. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. What was your favorite pickup? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That would be rad. You're already here. You may as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Keep rocking the retro games.